Sorry.
Thanks, Gina.
You my girl, Gina.
Hurry up and heat up over there, Volcano.
Yeah. We need to get a bag or two in before we talk about it. So come on.
Oh, we're going to be getting some bags in, bro. I've been bagging it up all weekend.
Yes. This is a beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to start talking about it here on the Shedtime podcast in 3, 2, 1, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Shedtime. What is Shedtime, you ask? Well, it's code for the consumption of cannabis, but it's much more than that. Shedtime's a state of mind. It's art, it's music, it's cryptocurrency, technology, it's food, it's vaping. It can be whatever you want it to be, as long as you're not letting the bastards get you down, not being a dick, and making it fun. When you're in the shed, it's whatever your mind allows you to create. So now let's get to the Shedtime podcast.
All right, I made the clapping sound. That means it's time to go. Welcome back to the Shedtime podcast, ladies and gentlemen of listener land or wherever the hell you are. Shout out to the patrons, those of you watching. We love you.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. But as you just quickly heard in the intro, Volcano. Yes.
Yeah, dude. Storz and Bickel fucking caught a good old Cyber Monday deal, bro. Because if you guys know about the hybrid volcanoes, then you guys know that these things are not cheap at all.
No, I mean I had one in the dispensary for a few months, and I think the price tag on it was just short of $700.
Yeah, you're not too far off. Yeah, it's a lot. But let's just say that is not what I paid for it, Sean.
Yes, sir. I like to hear that.
Let's take a couple $100 off of that, baby. And caught myself a deal. Planet of the Vapes actually had them. They might still have them for like $525. And your boy decided to take the money that I won out in old Las Vegas and get myself a little Christmas present. You know what I mean?
Now that's a great use of some gambling winnings.
Right? Because it was like money that I never, you know what I mean? It was extra money. You know what I mean? I didn't have to tap into my normal bank, my normal paycheck from week to week. It was just extra money I've had sitting around, just chilling on top of, my normal savings and stuff. So I was just like, hey, you know what? I feel like I deserve it. I've been working pretty hard the past couple months at the new job. You know what I mean? Been doing pretty well on saving some money. All my bills are all caught up. You know what I mean? Why not? And like we've been talking here on the podcast time and time before, I have been trying to lay off the concentrates a little bit. You know what I mean? I've been going real heavy on the dabbage. Ben Globin's been coming out to play pretty heavy for the past few months. And now Ben Globin is turning into Ben Baggin. That's what's going on right now. You know what I mean?
You've been bagging, it sounds like.
I've been bagging all weekend, bro. You know what I mean? And I've been loving it, dude. I've been loving it. Of course, one thing I also got, Sean, which I feel like is kind of got like a little lackluster, experience, because like I got one thing in and then the Volcano showed up shortly after. But I also purchased myself an old FMJ setup. And let me tell you guys, if you want to take your Dynavap to the next level and you want to rip a whole bowl in one round, get yourself an FMJ, baby. Because it is the truth. It works. It's nice. You still get a great flavor experience out of it. It's just that you get the full spectrum situation all in one hit.
Yeah.
I will say this. You're not going to be able to go ripping back-to-back bowls because the FMJ does hold some heat. So like we talked about when, get yourself a little, wooden clothespin, a clothes pin hanger or whatever, you know what I mean? Or just something to grab onto your tip. That way you can, take it off and cash out your bowl and get it ready for the next one. But dude, let me just say my vaporization game has been stepped up this past week. for my
Dude.
portable vaporization when it comes down to the Dynavap and my new desktop vaporization.
Well, speaking of these kind of things, I too had just made a wonderful Black Friday vaporization selection.
Yeah,
I
you
picked
did.
up a motherfucking Thuya wood, burled wood Simrel. It's their beautiful wood burl. Look at that. Look at that. That's just gorgeous.
That's nice, dude.
Yeah,
And I
looks
got
so-
I got it all extra fashioned out with the titanium tip, nice captive cap and an FMJ. And the really cool thing about this Simrel Turbo is that inside there's an insert. And yeah, I'll do this. This is going to be fine. Ooh, she's already getting kind of gross.
First bag of the podcast, boys.
Yes, sir. But this guy is hidden inside.
Oh,
This-
interesting.
This is the Simrel intercooler. And so what this is doing is this is going inside your condenser tube and creating that spiral movement of the vapor. So it just smooths it out even more. And what I found really interesting is that obviously I have my first FMJ on one setup, and then I got this. So I was able to compare, same strain back to back, taking hits out of each one. And this really does smooth your entire vape experience out even more, which is incredible. But speaking of incredible, I feel like Mr. Janklin right now because I got the grab bag of goodies at the moment.
Oh, I went and grabbed some
dang,
goodies
dude,
too,
let's
bro.
fucking hear it.
I
Let's
made a
fucking
special
hear it.
trip yesterday for the Volcano.
This was one of those moments of perks of working in a dispensary. As a Thanksgiving gift to all of us, they hooked us up with a big little grab bag of different samples.
Yeah.
So I got a Mac 1 pre-roll, which I shared with the wife last night. I got a pre-roll of something called Couch Vibes. So we'll have to see how that goes. I think it's safe to assume that it's a indica with a name like Couch Vibes, but we're
Sounds
looking
good
at
to
a
me.
we're looking at a 17% THCA. We got a almost 1% CBG. We got a nice little 1.4% terpene spread through the whole thing. So this ought to be an enjoyable smoke. We got some Rainbow Kush, a full eighth of Rainbow Kush, a full eighth of Mac 1, which this honestly has been the best Mac 1 I've tasted in our region. Got a gram of Singapore Sling flower as well. A full gram cartridge of OG mint.
Oh,
And then one of those little disposable jammies. We got one of those. This one's like just a mixed fruit distillate disposable. So it's supposed to taste like mixed fruit. And as a person who's vaped a handful of mixed fruit vape e-liquids before, I don't know how you call that mixed fruit, but that's besides the point. So yeah, man, I think I'm going to dig into this Rainbow Kush and give her a good old go because I already know this vendor's Mac 1. It's got an interesting nose.
I'm keeping it simple over here, boys. I'm just rocking cookies and cream. Let's go.
I dig the cookies and cream strain.
I picked up some goodies myself, Sean, for the old Volcano because, of course, I need some herbage. You know what I mean? So it's just strictly some concentrates. So I went and picked myself up a little bit of some blueberry purple from Wonder Brett, which is a really, really nice brand out here. They put out some really good strains. This is what they call their smalls. So it's like a bag of all like their smaller buds, you know what I mean? Still equals out to
Yeah.
still equals out to an eighth, but as you can see, it's got definitely some of that purple kind of note to it, dark green in complexion, super tasty. It's got the berry / perp notes to it when you vape it.
You see, in
Really,
your
really
little
good.
popcorn nugs, they're just the ones from the bottom of the plant that developed last. That's all.
Yeah, That's all.
So-
They're still good.
Yeah, they're still good nugs.
I got some of this stuff too. Novocaine, which was a 2019 cannabis cup winner. From Team Elite Genetics. And dude, this stuff looks extra tasty.
Ooh.
Very bright green, very frosty. This one also very tasty. Both this one's testing at about a 31% on the old THC level there. But it does give you a nice breakdown. 1% terpene. It's got some myrcene, a little bit caryophyllene, a little bit of some limonene, some humulene. You know what I mean? Just rocking all those. And then I also got some of this, Sean, which it was pretty damn tasty as well. It's some cherry bubba, which is a cross between cherry gelato and Bubba Kush from Grizzly Peaks. And this stuff is very, very beautiful. This nice, dense, compact nugs. Got a little purple action kind of going in there too. Very, very good shit. Picked myself up to go along with all this herbage, to mix in a little bit with every bowl, a little bit of some bubble hash. You know what I mean? A little bubble hash action and some purple velvet. To mix in with like a little bit of the purple action that I got going with the flower. Really good shit. And then I had to get one little thing of some concentrate just because I went to a new shop, by the way. New Stizzy location in Barstow. Smaller location, kind of a little bit more boutique-esque, you know what I mean?
Nice.
Right next door to a smoke/vape shop. Beautiful. Because, if you go in, grab your stuff from the dispensary and like, oh, hey, I need papers. Or, hey, I need butane for my torch. Or, oh, you know what? I broke my banger last week. It's right there, dude. It is fucking prime real estate. Fucking great idea. Definitely going back to the shop. Still another Stizzy location. So carrying a lot of the same brands that I'm familiar with. Still carrying the Stizzy products. Same price range, that sort of thing. But like in a small, more kind of boutique kind of shop. Loved it. But anyways, I also picked up some purple plum. I was just on a purple craze this week. A little purple plum batter. Just to, I'm even throwing a little bit of that in the volcano too, just doing a little solid action, a little hash, concentrate, wheat, just everything, and then bagging it up. I'm actually going to refill a bag right meow. But dude,
let's go.
It's been glorious, Sean.
So yeah,
the convenience of just literally filling a bowl up, putting it on top of that thing, filling a bag up, ripping as many hits as I want out of the bag till it's done, and then being like, oh, I want to fill it up again. Throw it on there and just push the fucking button and then it just goes.
So, yeah, that's something I want to get into real quick as you're filling up this next bag. For people who are, relatively unfamiliar, never used one, but are curious and think, is it really worth the money? Like, walk the people through, like, what is it like your first time setting up your volcano and going to use it?
Okay, so I will say this. There is a bit of a learning curve to start if you've never used one before or don't have any idea what you're doing, obviously. Because like there's some guesswork with like, well, how much am I supposed to fill the bowl? You know what I mean? Do I do it lightly? Do I fill it all the way? How much do I put in it? That I kind of just did best judgment. I kind of just put as much in to about like the bottom little bevel section of where the top and the bottom connect, and I was like, as long as I put it in here and I don't pack it super tight, that'll probably be the best bet. Worked great for me, not a problem. And then I was like, well, what temperature do I set this to? Of course, I'm working in Fahrenheit here because we're out here in the States and we use the Fahrenheits. So I was like, well, I'm gonna just hit up my buddy Will, aka Punk Rock Silver Fox, like, hey dude, what do you normally set your volcano to? And that'll be my baseline. He's like 375 Fahrenheit. Start there, 370, 375. I was like, sweet. That's what I did. You know what I mean?
That's good advice.
So I loaded the bowl, threw that on there, turned it to the right temperature that I needed, and then Got my bag, took your little mouthpiece out because it's just got this little mouthpiece you insert. So when you go to hit it, and then when you go to fill it out, you take it out. And then you literally will take your bag. After I finish this bag, I'll literally do a full fill cycle on cam for people to see.
Oh, hell yeah. But yeah, so basically you
simple.
just pop it on the machine.
Pump it on the machine, push the air button, which will pump the vapors into the bag. And then once the bag gets to the you'll start to hear it because you'll hear the like crinkling of the bag. And then as soon as you see it getting full, better hit that fucking button. Because if you don't, it will burst that bag, boy. I actually put a little hole in one yesterday because I wasn't paying attention. But luckily it comes with a couple extras. So there's that.
And as though, the cool thing we've all probably seen on YouTube and stuff of people who've made their own out of like huge bags and just made like
do that
silly long ones.
And then you just sit here and it's got your ooh.
Yeah.
It's got your little valve mouthpiece here. So what you literally have like, I don't know if you can see it on the camera. There's like a little silicone seal on the inside there. It's like literally a valve. And what happens is you'll put your little mouthpiece in here. And this part, once you push it in, pushes into the valve, opening it up, releasing the vapor out of the bag into said lungs. And then you exhale. And then whenever you're done and the bag is empty, you just put it back on the thing and fill it back up again.
Yeah. I mean, it honestly, I think the biggest challenge for people getting into it is if you've never vaporized cannabis before, it was something we've talked about time and time again on this show, is that like you don't want to pack it super tight. You need to allow room for airflow through the material.
Yep.
And
the cool thing is I found out that I don't even have to fill it up. I could just put as much as I want in there. And depending on however much is in there, will be depending on how much vapor comes out. Of course, if you pack it too tight, though, like Sean says, the airflow doesn't, move through it properly and it doesn't vaporize quite as well. So there is that.
But that's the nice thing, is that like a smaller pinch inside your bowl just means that you get a little bit lighter vapor. Maybe you can't do a second session because you get it all in your first go, but not bad.
Hit the button without the thing on there. And now we'll just hit the old air button here.
And for anybody out there that has not tried a Volcano, like they're legit. Last weekend I was using Will's, like Punk Rock Silver Fox. I was down there last weekend, and it's not the first time I've used them. I've actually used them since probably like around 2001, 2002, like that kind of time frame. But it would be if I had a buddy that had one, whatever. And I'll just say this, like for someone like myself that has like a tolerance, but not really much of a tolerance, comparatively speaking, to someone like James or Will or Sean, for that matter. I get fucking wrecked.
Oh, dude,
from bags, dude. Like I will, like I think that we would do like a full bowl, and like by the end, dude, I'd be wrecked. And like 20, 30 minutes later, this motherfucker would be like, "Oh, should we have another bag?" I'd be like, "Sure, I guess." Like I would be wrecked, dude, instantly.
Yeah.
And there was even more than just me and him like hitting it like that. So,
and I'm putting these down myself, bro.
Oh, dude,
I've been going through 2-3 bags.
People do that too, right? So like I get it, like I understand, but for people out there, like you can, I'm assuming, not use as much, just like James said, but it's like really tasty. Like if they were $200 and you could get one that was like scaled way down, like your boy would already own one.
Well,
but
so you kind of can. Like the
I mean?
OG's like $300 US.
Dude, that's like $400. That's like twice the price for me. Like, here's the thing, right? I've spent considerably more money on things that I've used less, right? So like I get that angle, but I'm just like not, I don't know. It's weird, right? Because I'm okay with my consumption levels, right? I have no issues with it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm comfortable with the amount of money that I spend. I'm comfortable with like how often I do it, you know what I mean? Whatever else. It's an everyday thing for me, but it's not an everyday from one point straight until I go to sleep. So I think that for me, it's just the amount of money that they cost. Like, I probably wouldn't do it if I was a bit younger and I saw like friends coming over all the time and like all that stuff. Yeah, I probably would own one. Because for me, then it's like, to me, like one of those, they're amazing, right? But it's like a social thing for me because I know that I can't fucking just rock a whole bag and like not, you know what I mean? Like I can't even rock the whole bowl, like whatever. It's just, it's too much for me. But I do think that they're fucking dope and I like them a lot.
See, I understand where you're coming from though, because like that's sort of what has always kind of stopped me from jumping on it, is that like it's a lot of money for a thing that I just don't fully see myself using enough to justify. Even now, like I now have so many little Dynavap options, it's crazy. And it's like for the money I've spent on all these Dynavaps, I definitely could have afforded a Volcano too. But I think I'd still end up just using my Dynavaps over the Volcano more often than not.
I think just for me, like I'm saying,
Yeah.
it's the size,
I
like
thought
the
that
dosage and all that. But
until
for
I
me,
got
it's
it,
just-
bro. You know what I mean? Because that was kind of my whole. I was with you, both of you guys, 100% on everything you've said. You know what I mean? Price wise, functionality wise, definitely more of a like a social group setting sort of thing. But then I thought about it, dude, and I was like, I really would just like something to where like, because there's times where I want to just sit and sesh. You know what I mean? But I don't want to sit here and have to go through a bunch of fucking bowls out of the Dynavap to get super fucking lit. You know what I mean? On some flour. And I don't necessarily always want to go straight for the fucking the concentrates. You know what I mean? But with this, I was thinking about it after I'd used Will's a few times. I was like, I could literally fill up a full bag and rip it as many fucking times as I want. I don't even have to finish it super quick. You know what I mean? Like I could just chill on it. But I know after one bag, I'm going to be pretty fucking high. You know what I mean? I'm going to be at a decent level. And then if I want to go through a second one, I'll be on a nice one. You know what I mean? Without having to go straight for the concentrates. You know what I mean? That was kind of what I was thinking. Not only that, but like there's the convenience of it, of how easy it is to set up. You know what I mean? I thought about that aspect of it. And lastly, this is just a personal thing. I just wanted to treat myself. So I just did it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because then I thought about it too. It's just like, dude, how many vape devices do I just normal vape devices do I just have that I've spent $200 on and don't use, or $100 on and don't use, and I've got 5 or 6 of them. You know what I mean? I know I will use this. Like, because I knew I would I knew I would use it. I didn't know that I would, like, this is going to be like my new standard. Like, this
just became a game changer for you.
Yeah,
all of a sudden,
this is just how I'm going to partake in my flower now. And then I've just got my Dynavaps for when I go out, you know, and obviously I can't fucking, you know, I'm not going to carry that fucking thing around with me if I'm traveling. You know, I'll just fucking grab all my solid Dynavap setups and I'll be fucking Gucci. But for sitting here at the desk, dude, it's perfect. Like, you know what I was doing last night, bro, which is awesome. And it's kind of a pain in the ass to do with the Dynavap. I was able to, in between rounds on Call of Duty, fill up a bag, take one down, and then get back into some duty. Sometimes I don't have enough time to grind some weed, pack the Dynavap, and hit it with the torch and get through a complete heat cycle before the next round starts.
No,
You know what
you
I
have
mean?
to like work your way. Like as a person that at one point I did play Call of Duty.
You'd have to pack your bowl between one round,
Yeah.
chill, and then
you can hit
between
it.
the next round, you might be able to get a hit, chill, and then you have to wait and then empty it, chill. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't need
with
to
this,
be
like I was literally
one
did
all the
do
time.
a whole setup and a bag in the time. And then I still had enough to go back and fill up another
if
bag.
you're able to do that, that's fucking perfect, right? Because like instead of having to back out of a game, like I get that. Like, it's like you're not really losing.
Not saying
any
that
time.
like that's really just being ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like really, how much? I can't wait. No, I can't. I'm really that impatient. But
No, but like I get what you're saying, like because I hear
But
that and,
just-
like that's one of the benefits I like of having the FMJ, right? Is it like the way I roll?
That's like that. Like I would. That's one of the reasons why I was stoked that I got the FMJ. But now I feel kind of like bummed because I'm like, oh well, I'm not even really gonna enjoy it really for a while until like I go somewhere and get to bring it with me because now I'm just
Yeah.
gonna be rocking this, dude.
Because like the way that I always roll, like I've always got like some weed ground up on my little tray here, just chilling, ready to go. So like I'm able to just take this guy and quickly, just gently scoop some weed in there, get them all loaded, and then I'm right off to heating really quick. So it's not like it's like too long. That like I think with the FMJ it would be almost perfect time, but I totally get what you're saying because like especially if you're using just a traditional Dynavap cap, you can maybe get through that one heat cycle before the game starts, and then you barely have time to enjoy your experience before you're in the gameplay.
Yeah.
And that sucks. You
And with
want at
this,
least,
like
a
I'll
few
have the
seconds
bag
to savor.
The bag's just filled up, and I literally could just sit it like this, Sean, in my lap, depending on how much is in it, and I can hit it without holding it.
Bro, can you get a fucking bendy straw that fits inside that mouthpiece? Then you're Gucci. You literally just sit there and while you're playing.
That would be kind of cool, huh?
Maybe just like a little length of tube that you could just have like hang right by your head, just almost like a camelback.
Have the whip and just be fucking
Yeah, almost like a camelback. Just
I could just hook the whip up to it too, and then
see-
push the air pump and just have it pump straight into my fucking face.
see, like that's the cool thing about the setup that you got.
And you know what else I could do here, Sean? See this? See this?
Oh, yeah, dude.
I can do it all. I can do
Yeah.
it all.
See-
And the best thing is I could put everything in my everything in there. Concentrate, hash, weed. Just vape it all, dude. Vape it all. And I have been, boys. Oh, I have been.
So not that this is a sales pitch for a Volcano, ladies and gentlemen, but it does sound like it's a sound investment into your
It's a
herbals and
definite
ecosystem.
recommendation.
Yeah.
If he could swing it, as far as the money goes, I would definitely say get one.
Yeah, here's my thing, right? Like if James got the elite, like this is like the top.
Yeah, I went.
He got the baller
went ham.
edition.
I
Understand, you don't have
Frames
to,
and
you don't have to go that hard to get into the Volcano. Like there is an entry level model that is less
like
expensive,
even cheap. It's like even $200 cheaper than that sometimes.
yeah, I
if you
think
can
it's
catch
like
it on a
roughly
deal.
$350 is its MSRP, something in there. But now, if you can also get like a year prior model, you might even be able to bring it down another, say, $100.
And they have smaller devices that do the same thing, just without the bag.
Storz and Bickel, like the Mighty and the Crafty, those things
Fantastic
are game
devices.
changers.
Do the same exact thing, just in a more portable. And those, Chris, smaller, more around that $200 mark.
And if I remember
saying.
if I remember correctly, they're 18650 powered. So we've already got the batteries around.
Just saying. Just saying, they're
okay,
out
hold
there.
up, hold up. I'm not. This is like not me committing to buying anything. This is just
No,
me
I'm not even.
asking
I'm
more
just saying
information.
that just
No,
to be
but like
funny.
how much? No, I'm curious. Like you have me thinking. Like
I
how
think
much
there's.
are they?
I think I've seen like the Mighty is like two some like maybe 1 to 2 something. The last time I
So
looked.
you remember that?
Let
You
me
remember
look
that
on the
big?
Fills up
website.
bags. Hold up, and it fills up bags.
No. It's
Oh.
just a handheld unit that pumps.
What's the cheaper one that like
vapor in your
does?
face.
What's the cheapest one that does fills up bags?
That
The
one's
classic.
That's the classic Volcano.
Is it the same size bags that James's and Will have?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
See, that's the part that I'm like, I'm just not.
Just like this, the classic package, it just doesn't come with all the extra cool stuff. It's
It
just a
comes
very basic kit.
Balloons, and it doesn't come with like the whip because it doesn't have like and it doesn't come with like the whip attachment.
Yeah, like it's just a very basic
But
entry level
it on their site retails for $479. But I have seen it on sale some places through the holidays for like $325.
Yeah, like
the
I
classic.
think
Okay.
I had the classic
But
in
they
my store
also
for $350.
have these other devices, Chris. I'm actually going to screen share right now, just so we can all take a look. Let me do this here.
Yeah, Storz and Bickel definitely make some high quality shit.
Because they have all of these here devices that are down here at the bottom to start, or at the top right there. So of course they got the Crafty. This is the more cheaper end. This is like a single 18650 version, I believe. But it's just got your little straw guy, It's got your chamber right here.
Mhm.
Fill your weed up right there. Pop your top on there. It's got a swivel straw. Just kicks off to the side. Here's the little heating situation.
It's a true little convection oven, really.
Yeah. And you can see it's got the holes where it blows the heated air through. And I've seen these on sale for under this too, like for the holidays. See here, this one, the Plenty, this is a little bit cheaper than that. This has just got a straw on it, and it's literally what I have on top of my Volcano, like the same little bowl situation, just on a small, like it's kind of crazy looking.
Oh, and the reason why you can't fill up a bag with that is because there's not like air being built up through it.
No, there is. It's being pumped through like the straw. It's just it doesn't have the little bag attachment for the top. But this one, I bet you could probably get a bag attachment because it looks like that top piece is the same.
Yeah, it does. Like,
because it looks like the same bowl situation that I have on mine.
Yeah,
but it may be smaller. Maybe, I don't know. But who knows, dude? They do have different variations of shit. This is the one I got, but of course I did not pay this price for it.
Yeah, the Mighty was one of the things Mike was showing us when we had him on the show.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah,
he's got the Mighty, one of the bigger ones. Oh, it's the Mighty Plus. What's the difference between the Mighty and the Mighty Plus? This one got like the Bluetooth stuff.
Supercharger, 60-second heat up, better stability, super booster temp.
Okay, let's see what this one looks like then. Oh, it doesn't have any of that cool stuff on there. Interesting. But yeah. So they've got, dude, and this is the thing too, they've been around forever.
Yeah, they're like leaders in the forced air, excuse me, the forced air convection style dry herb vapes. And I don't think anybody's really beat them at that game. Like they are kind of the gold standard.
Yeah, 100%
for that sort of thing. If you want the best of the best, if you want to buy the Lamborghini and the Ferrari,
and I feel like that's partially why they are at the price that they are, because they're fucking creme de la creme, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You get what you pay for.
Product, and that's the thing. You took the words out of my mouth. You get what you pay for sure, for sure.
Stop.
it definitely makes me look forward to the point in time in my life where I can get one.
Can't tell if this bag burst.
Dude, honestly, if I had like a legit man cave and had like people coming over, like I would own one for sure. Because like I know how
Dude, that's
efficient they
partially
are,
why
how
I thought
fucking
about it
pimp they
too.
are.
At this point in time, I also was like, you know what? I've got the money for it now. Not only is it cool for me just to have, but like if there's ever a point where I've got like a nice little fucking spot, you know, like a man cave of some sort, like when
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, older and got my own situation figured out, that'd be pretty sick just to have.
Oh, for sure, dude. And you're using it right now, right? So I guess we'll see, you know, if you're still using it all the time a month from now, like it was clearly a fucking amazing purchase. Right now, it's like a good purchase because you're excited about it and you're enjoying it. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll give it a month and then it won't matter what the fuck you do with it because you enjoyed it for a month and it's still worth something.
that's the test of time, right? Like that's what I find interesting is
True, and I easily could probably get my money back if I wanted to sell it. to
Oh,
somebody,
100%.
You know what I mean?
It's that's the beauty of the Storz and Bickel products. They do hold value too, and it's pretty cool. There's a you know the thing I like about this is that in all of these little like vape communities, because it's such a niche, they're strong communities. And so like
yeah, it's like the Dynaverse.
exactly the Dynaverse, very strong, tight community. Storz and Bickel has their own where like there are people who are about that life and they're diehard Storz and Bickel people. And if you need troubleshooting, if you need anything, like they're there. They've got the answers. They've been through it all. They've seen it all. And it's pretty cool that it's garnered that level of respect, that it has that level of recognition.
Well, I guess they've been around for a long time, right? They were around before like Web 2. Like they were around before Facebook and they were around before, you know, Instagram, all these different things where communities kind of grow to where they are now, right? Like a lot of those groups and stuff are on Facebook, which I've heard recently. So sorry for anybody that still uses Facebook heavy, that Facebook is for boomers. That is what I've recently heard. It was brought to my attention, but I also don't really use Facebook. But yeah, like a lot of these groups, like they're massive on there, right? Because I don't think that they have like a forum on a website or something like that, do they? Like these, I haven't. I don't think
I
that
mean,
Dynavap does. I don't know if
there are. Oh yeah, I'm part of a Dynavap Reddit forum.
Yeah, but that's okay. But that's like Reddit. Yeah, okay.
So, but that's the thing. Like there are plenty of forums out there, and there are very much likely to be Dynavap ones in them because
They've been around since 1996.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like when I was like,
dude, and the original one looks so much more like a
volcano.
volcano. Like here, I'm gonna share screen again because they have this thing called 20 Years of Volcano on their website.
Oh yeah, I want to see this little history show.
Like, look at this thing. This is the original volcano from 1996, right?
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if like that was close to the same model.
And like, look at the
used.
design. A little sketch up in 1998 to change it into kind of what we've got going on here.
Oh, maybe that's actually more the era of one.
This is the classic. Yeah, I could tell. This is like a gold classic, which they came out with in 2000.
Yeah, because like I probably was using it around 2001. I would guess 2002.
Yeah, 2004 is when they ended up, or 2007 is when they ended up dropping the digital.
Dude, I'm sorry, but that guy on the right, that
This guy?
haircut is
I love
fucking
it.
incredible, dude.
I love it.
That's an amazing haircut.
His
that's me,
haircut
bro.
and this guy's hairline, like they're two peas in the pod, bro.
Yeah, they're gems.
I bet you this guy has a similar hairline, but he's got the bangs to cover it up.
He's got this like William H. Macy thing going on, which is kind of awkward.
It's a trip. I shouldn't say anything about hairlines. But yeah, that's crazy, dudes.
Wow. 1996. So like, that's another interesting thing, right? So like a lot of cannabis users
That's 5 years
discovered
old, bro.
Volcano through things like High Times, because like
Yep.
again, Chris is right. The internet was in its infancy, so
Yeah,
like
dude. Like Web 2 was just starting. All that shit.
yeah, like at that stage, there weren't social media sites really. There were very few places to go to find content like that. So it was niche magazines and stuff that were giving it its boost. And I mean,
Yeah,
I know
like I
that's
think
where
there
I
were
learned
lots of
about it was High
people that were
Times.
like, you know, potheads, people that use cannabis like at that time. Everybody kind of like knew one person that was like subscribing to High Times. So you would like get casual access to like those magazines, but like, dude, in the 90s, like that's the way that you found out shit, but it's not like everybody was just getting High Times that you knew that were like, you know, 15 to 20 years old. Do you just like know one dude that like his parents didn't give a fuck, or he was just so into it that he just wanted to get it, and then you'd get to see it at your buddy's house, and you know you'd see like cannabis cup winners, and you'd read articles, and you'd be like, "Whoa, this is fucking crazy."
See, I
Now
find
you can
it
just do that like on your phone, but
I find it interesting though that like that you see that it was their age demographic,
what do you mean?
because I would suspect that their age demographic was actually much broader.
Well, I think that just like also you're talking about High Times, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like I think that even when I was in my 20s and people were like out of their parents' houses and didn't give a shit, like I didn't really know that many people, or be like that one or two people that you'd meet over like a year. Even when you were like seeing a bunch of different people and like being social and going out or whatever, that might actually have High Times.
So here's the thing though. I also believe that the circle of people that you probably ran with weren't like the people who did subscribe to High Times. You know what I mean? So that's again like one of those niche subcultures. A lot of the people I've known who actually like were longtime subscribers of High Times, a lot of those dudes were old time growers, shit like that. They were dudes who've been reading it since the 70s. And it was like they've been growing since the 70s. They've been, you know, staying up on all that culture through that magazine and that publication. And it's kind of cool because like when I would do the Freedom Rally and stuff here in Boston, you go and see the High Times booth and stuff, and like you'd see these dudes who are now in their like 60s and 70s, and like they're still doing their grows. And, you know, they're talking about how like, oh, I've been reading your magazine since I was, you know, in my 20s. And oh, man, it's so cool to see it.
It's like when I would go to the like High Times events out here, dude, because I've been to like the Cannabis Cups a couple times, you know, like they've done a couple different events. So like I think they did like the Blazers Cup or something like that, or something. A bunch of different like, you know, weed events that I've gone to.
Yeah, they've been sponsoring California events forever now.
And dude, it's crazy because you go to like go to like the vendor section, you know. Of course, out here at the time, most of I went to before it was recreational, so you'd have to have your medical card, but everybody had them at that point because it was, if you know how easy it is to get when you know how it is.
I mean, it was a butt of every comedian in that era. We know,
but like you'd go in and literally you'd see some booths that were like, of course, you know, the younger crowd, you know, just getting into it, the, you know, normal stoner, you know, youth. But then you'd also go and you'd see like these old head, like old school farmer dude, hippie dudes, you know, tie dye, fucking got some, you know, tapestry hanging from their booth. You know what I mean? Like got that whole vibe going, just sitting there and then telling you about the, you know, the real ways. You know what I'm saying? And like it was cool to like get to experience that because you just go from booth to booth and just get to see, like literally sometimes just completely different walks of life, bro. Because then you'd also see like the real corporate business side in some booths, but then you go to the next booth and it's just like the wild, crazy booth that's got like the DJ and they're passing out fucking free dabs to everybody that's walking by the booth, and everybody's just, dude, that part is the craziest part, dude. Because I'm sure you've been to plenty of these events, dude. You where you can consume right at these things. Dude, the highest of highs, bro. Like to the point where it's like you're almost don't realize you're even high anymore. You know what I mean? Because it's just like you've partaken in so much because you've taken like 30 something dabs because you've gone around the circle of the fucking event 3 times, and every booth you go to free dab, and it's usually supposed to be one per person, but everybody's so high they don't remember that you were there about 20 minutes ago, bro. So you get another one. You know what I mean?
Well, see, like that's the thing. Like, and then when you do the Boston Freedom Rally, right? Like the Freedom Rally is literally held in Boston Common, so it's an outdoor event in this big open park, and so it's literally open consumption in public because initially it was designed as a form of protest. And so the idea was that we would get this permit to do this, and it would be a display of civil disobedience. And so we would basically all have a giant smoke-in the park.
Mm-hmm.
And it grew through the movement to become what we have now. The Boston Freedom Rally and the Mass Can people did a big part of the rallying for legalization in this state. And I am very proud to have been a part of that era of Mass Can's work. And so, I mean, that's how that whole event like evolved as things became rec. That started to happen, and like more rec things started to happen there, and that changed the dynamic a little bit. And so now, like when you go, like it can't be exactly like you're describing, where it's like as you walk by, they're like, "Hey, have a free dab," but at the same time, there are the vendors there that have it, and it's like if you come around the corner and it's there, they're like, "Oh, hey, yeah, you want it? You want to taste?
Yeah.
We got you." You know, as long as you're kind of out of sight, you're out of mind.
Dude, and then you walk out of them things with fucking baggies of all this free shit that you've gotten, or like fucking super crazy discounted fucking stuff. And she's like, dude, you're fucking stocked for like the next.
Well, I mean, that's how my glass collection is so ridiculous, because you go to these events and it's like they have these giant glass tables and you see some really cool shit. And they'd be like, two buy 2, get 1 for free. And you're like, all right, fine.
Fuck it. All right. I'm down.
Yes. Those are all coming with me. Like, you know, like, oh man, my buddy, DJ Slim, shout out to DJ Slim, friend of the podcast. He would do these dope ass 420 survival kits. Cause you know, obviously at 420, everybody got to light up and blow a big cloud. Right. So, he would do these 420 survival kits that had like everything you needed inside, whole shitloads of papers, a little pipe, all sorts of cool little shit, plus some little snacks inside. And he'd sell them off for like $10 at his booth. And it's like, while you're grabbing these little 420 survival packs, you want to grab a CD? Bang.
Bada bing, bada boom.
It was dope. Like I would work that booth with him so many years. It was so much fun just because like he'd just be going like hard, and like people would be mobbing his booth. He'd show up with like 500 of those survival packs and run out. Shit would be wild. And then when they started making it like 2 days, it got even crazier. You have to make like 1,000 of those kits just to be able to like.
Dude, that was the thing too. A lot of those events would be like 2 days or some shit. So like a lot of the time what we'd do is we'd go the second day, because a lot of these booths, just like vape events or any other convention, a lot of them just start giving shit away because they don't want to fucking have to pack it up and take it home.
Exactly. Yep. the discounts come out. All of a sudden, everything's like 90% off.
Yeah.
Some dudes are like, fuck it, best offers. That's how I learned to haggle for glass. Like, again, that's how my glass collection grew so large. Is you get into all those situations and it would be like, no. I'm not gonna pay 45. I give you 30. All right, 30 sold. Boom.
All right.
It's good.
You know
times,
what?
man.
This wouldn't be a podcast if I didn't take at least one dab.
Oh shit.
So I gotta, dude. I've still got like all kinds of concentrate too, dude. So it's like I'm set for a while. Ooh, sure. We'll do a little cake frosting, a little hybrid live resin action.
Tell you.
Oh, I did get a nice little new pearl set.
Oh, now that's matching up nice.
Right. I like it. I like it a lot. But I was kind of bummed though, because the original set that I was looking at, it wasn't the right color, but like I just seen it in the case and this one was underneath it. And I just seen the big marble. I was like, oh wait, let me get that one. That one will match better. But that bottom marble and the pill were one piece. So it was almost like a screw, but like, you know what I mean? It was almost kind of like a little, almost like a little piece for like a pegboard sort of thing. It looked like, and I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. You know what I mean? Something a little different. But I get home, open it up, and then no, this one's just a really big pill and marble. But hey,
You're talking about in the
works.
bottom?
Yeah,
So
in the
like-
bottom. So like these two were connected. Like, so like this pill is actually like welded, like glass welded to the bottom of that marble. So it's just like a little, like, you know, like a pin almost, or like a tack that you'd like kind of drop in there.
Yeah, like Will has like a screw.
He's got a
in
screw.
his.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
similar to the screw, but without like the
No threading on it.
yeah, no threading. Thank you. My brain wasn't working there for a second.
I follow a glass maker who makes an interesting set. They're called Strictly Clits. And
I've heard you talk about the
that's all you need to know. Like, that's your pearls. They're fucking clit pearls for your banger. Like,
Dude,
the JJ's
you
just
follow
spinning
Evan
around.
Shore at all?
Who?
Evan Shore. He does like bangers and stuff like that. Evan Shore
Yeah.
bangers.
Have you
Have you seen the cylinders he does?
I was gonna ask, is he the one that's doing the fucking modular system now?
Yeah, the little
Yes.
dude, those are so sick. Where it's literally, he calls them the claw, because it's literally like, you know, I'm gonna pull it up on Instagram.
Yeah,
real
please
quick and we'll
do.
share it.
Because I'm so glad you brought this up, because I also wanted to bring this up this week. This is one of the coolest inventions and bangers I've ever seen.
All right,
Super
let's go
fucking
here.
innovative.
Evan Shore. Shout outs to this dude. He's been making some dope shit. But yeah, he calls it, I'm gonna go, this is the best way.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is called the claw system. So he just took a dab out of that. You know, it needs to clean it up. Got the claw right there. All right, all clean, ready to go. Let's grab the next one. Modular. Oh, I want a terp slurp this time. Tell me that's not fucking nuts, dude. It's nutty.
Dude, that's honestly crazy.
Like,
It's
there's
and
another.
it's all friction held. It's all friction glass. Like,
Dude, these things
just
are
held
what I was
by-
talking about, Sean. Watch, I think, I don't know. Does it show how it works or no?
is that the one that you're supposed to load your concentrate into? And
Yeah,
then drop it
you
in?
load
Yes.
it in, and then it
Yes.
does this.
Yes, because look at the function of this thing. It melts out of it as it spins.
They're
Oh,
crazy, dude.
The innovation of this dude is amazing. Like, look at even his
Honestly,
basic
that's fucking
banger.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, like I want to try to find the better these things are sick too.
Yep.
So it's almost kind of like a propeller. Saying I want to get one, dude, but his stuff's pretty pricey.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie.
He's a very well
pretty
respected.
Look,
interesting.
what
Look at
is
the
this?
Yeah, look at the gears. Watch the function of this.
No.
Yes.
Okay, that is sick. Put it on top of a pearl. That's dope. Dude, if it worked like that though, tell me that wouldn't be crazy. Oh, look at this guy.
Yeah, this guy Evan Shore Bangers is very, very talented. That's for sure.
Yeah, dude. And then like you should see like his like just look at this.
Yeah, like,
A
this
Louis
is just a
Vuitton.
regular banger.
Dude, how much does this guy's work cost? This got to be expensive.
Well, let's
Yeah,
go to his
these-
website and find out.
These, if I'm not mistaken, are several $100s.
This is where some of his stuff gets sold.
Like, look
Here.
at that. Look at that. Oh my God. That is gorgeous glasswork.
All right, here we go. So like just these alone, $40. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's actually not bad, dude.
Oh wow, that isn't bad.
Okay. All right, let's see how much the claw is. Where's that? The claw.
Claw banger, come on.
That's actually not insane.
No, it's actually reasonable. Given what it is, 145 if you want the slurper mod there. 150, that's not bad. That's not bad. Claw by itself for one, what does that say? 119?
Yeah.
120?
Dude, expensive glass is for me. I'm just like, yo, I would be devastated when I broke that, and I would.
Right.
I love the auto spinner. Like, I want to get one of those. They
Oh, one
intrigue
of
the
these
shit
guys,
out of
yeah.
me.
Because it's just you put the cap on top and then whatever on the bottom, and then these
The
two
holes
little.
in the side of the banger just direct your airflow. Like, oh, it looks so interesting.
I want to check out some of these beads and pearl. Oh, there we go. Those aren't. I might get one of these, bro. Might get one of these.
You could drop that right into the slurp and just let
Yep.
it sizzle.
Or one of these guys. I don't know, man. Dude, have you seen this? This thing's sick. It's a little cone guy. He has a-
Turpcana.
yeah, because like it literally erupts out the top of it. He's got a video of this on here too somewhere.
Yeah, I remember.
Let's find it. Is this it? No, that's not it. Turpcano. Here it is.
Oh, yes.
Full on eruption, bro.
Love it. Like, this dude has really mastered the physics behind this
Dude,
shit.
he does some dope ass shit, bro.
And not
Like,
only
look,
that,
these
but
are sick too. The little pearl balls, because you just put your concentrate in there. They call this one's the hamster ball, and then it just spins around with your concentrate in it.
and look
Dude,
at the
these ones are
intricacy. Like,
These ones aren't that expensive at all, bro.
no, they're not. I'm shocked.
Yeah, $25.
All right, I'm coming back to this site and I'm gonna be ordering some stuff, dude. Look at that.
Look at the
Yeah,
poo
just
pearl.
bookmark it.
And a
The
butthole.
anus.
That's actually pretty fucking hilarious.
Oh man. It's got wooden tweezers so you can pull them out, which is also really nice.
He's even got fumed ones. Dude, look at that. It's like a pearl within a pearl. Dude's got some dope shit. I want to
Yeah.
see where are the gears at though?
I would assume under pearls, right?
That's where I went, but let's look here again. No, not there.
Gears. How about the one that says
Inserts?
gears?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I love the one
where's
that
it?
says gears. Good call.
I didn't see that.
Alphabetical.
I didn't even see it. Dude.
$50 to $60. Worth it. Worth it. Because it's a little intricate cut fucking gear made out of quartz. Pack your fucking concentrate into the center of the gear and just plop it in, bro.
Oh, and does it come with a pearl or no? We suggest using
it. Okay.
Do you have a 7
Oh, dude,
millimeter
look
pearl?
at that. I've got a bunch of different ones. I don't know if I have a 7 though.
Dude, it's crazy how small they are, but then there's like art on the inside and
Like
it's
that
got,
one?
like lettering on the gear and shit.
I didn't
Yeah.
even notice the little gears on the inside of that pearl at first.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It might be just the reflection of him holding the gear.
What's this? What's a halo? Oh. How does that work?
That is a $300 banger.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude, some of his stuff's crazy.
Holy
Like,
smokes. Yep. Like I said, like I know
Like,
he's
look at
got
this
some
shit.
like wicked heady bangers. Look at that. 250, 250. Like he's got some serious shit.
look at that.
335. Wow.
Yeah. Evan Shores is
You don't play, bro.
He's like I said, he's earned the right though. Like he's really mastered some of this shit. And
Dude, I wonder if he's done any propellers.
I just have to ask, what is a titty banger? Like what is that?
Or is that
On the left, dude, titty banger.
I don't
Terp thermometers, titty bangers, trippy banger.
oh shit.
it's just got
Oh, it's for like breast cancer awareness. Oh, okay.
Oh shit. It's got this one's got boobies in it in the bottom. It says titties.
that's what it is.
He's got titties etched in it.
Dude, that's crazy.
It's like
Yeah,
a little
dude.
surprise as you're dropping your dab. You're like, titties. Love that. Love that. That's a riot.
Man, you know what? I guess like this is just one of those things, right? Like the deeper you get into something, the more money you're willing to commit. I mean, that even goes down for like James's purchase or like just even looking at this website, right? Like if you're really into all this stuff and like this is like a real big hobby of yours, spending that kind of money is not necessarily that outlandish.
No, 100%. Because like,
Right?
think of it like this: if
Like,
you
for me,
spent a
it's way too
couple
much,
$1,000s on a really beautiful rig, it totally makes sense to spend $150 to $200 on a nice banger to put on it.
Yeah, like I wouldn't imagine you buy like a $300, $250 banger and you're putting it on like everything else that
$100
costs like
China fucking
$100. Yeah.
No, yeah, you're putting that on like probably a $400 or $500 rig.
That's the thing. Like we've looked at Witch Doctor. We've seen some of the stuff. Like there's $2,000 pieces on there that are fucking stellar. You know,
It does
utterly
some dope
stellar.
shit, and
like you look at them, and you're like, "That's an art piece. How do you even use it?"
God, I was. Cheers
love
to
that.
Evan Shores. Let me take this fucking dab now. I totally forgot I was doing one. I got it all set up and everything.
Dude, I just want to say that I was at the grocery store
You
yesterday
get
and I
Dr.
saw
Pepper?
something and I decided that I was going to buy
Oh.
some pop. And I bought a Canada Dry cranberry ginger ale. It's fucking legit. It's always out around Christmas time. And it's the fact that like we're getting closer to Christmas like every day. A lot of that shit's in the grocery stores up here.
Yeah.
Have a little strawberry Fanta.
Ooh. I got the classic dew for me.
Well, dude, I really haven't drank a pop. Like I drank a pop last weekend when I was down at Will's, but like other than that, like I've probably drank like 1-2 pops over like the last like 3 or 4 months. So this is like this special treat for me right now, but it's also just making me more thirsty somehow.
Oh, dude, they do.
Sodium content. They'll
Yeah.
do that.
So I guess when you're not used to something, and I never really noticed it before, maybe that's why you just
Dude,
like keep on
because I
drinking pop.
hadn't been going super heavy on the sodas lately until like earlier this week. And then like I was sitting here the other day and I drank like 3 like super quick. I was just like crazy thirsty. And instead of like getting up and like grabbing like a water to like kind of drink in between, I just grabbed like another pop or so. I don't even know why I call it a pop. I don't say that. Soda.
I was in your head, bro.
I think I just did it to stay, whatever, along with what you were talking about. But anyways, dude, I just pounded him super quick. I was like, dude, why am I so thirsty? Like literally just drank a soda. How can I still be thirsty? And then I started thinking about it. I was like, oh, it's probably like all the fucking sugar and like all the other shit that's probably not helping,
Yep. Like I try to drink one of those 32-ounce body armors every day at work because like I realized like I was drinking those fucking Bang energy drinks and shit, and like all that caffeine and all that other shit is nice and all, but even the not sugar is still sugar, and like it still wasn't helping me stay hydrated. And like I end up feeling a million times better because I'm drinking the body armor, which is like coconut water and like fruit juice fucking puree and shit. And when you're better hydrated, when you drink more water, you start living a better life. So drink more water and get more sleep.
Facts. Damn.
Tell you, regulating sleep has been a interesting lesson for me because I never really had like a set sleep schedule for a while, and now that I've really started to get on one, it really does help the body regulate. There's totally a reason that as parents you give children a bedtime. Like it totally makes sense now. As two of us die from taking our hits.
It's a good dawn, though.
Seeing stars, boys.
But they're good stars. I tell you, I've been craving a good dab sweat. It's been a few months. I've been starting to crave a good dab sweat.
Feel like I'm probably gonna be there in a few seconds here. That wasn't even like a crazy one. My dude, just the heat. Whew.
Yeah,
I might need to start dropping them down a little bit, taking a little bit cooler dabs.
Looking a little warm there. Yeah. I mean, that's the fun of vaporizing anything. Concentrate through a dab, a volcano.
I just feel like for some reason my
play with that temp.
I feel like my terp timer is like messing with me because I feel like it's telling me it's hotter than it actually, or it's reading cooler than it actually is, or something for some reason.
Like it's suddenly not in the optimal spot or something.
Yeah, because like I got it redialed in, I thought, and now all of a sudden it's like I feel like I gotta like let it cool in more. Like let it drop an extra 10, 15 degrees.
Yeah, that's a unique challenge. And of course, the other weird thing too is that, as we've talked about before, the ideal temperature also changes from concentrate to concentrate.
Yeah.
And so it's like everything's a baseline for something. But that's the fun of this game, right? If we're being honest, that's the fun of this game. We like that there's a little element of danger. This could be a perfect dab. This could land me in a coma in 10 minutes. Let's find out.
Right. What else is cool about this fucking hybrid one, dude? This hybrid volcano that I forgot to mention earlier is like it's Bluetooth. Like I had to go through some fucking hoops to get the order in order to get the fucking app to work on my phone because Apple, and they don't want to allow certain shit sometimes. But I found a browser that I could download to use their web app. And it's pretty handy, dude, because like I could just literally like when I'm pulling in the driveway, you know what I mean, pull up the app, connect to the Bluetooth, and then just like have it heating up. So by the time I get in here and pack a bowl, it's already ready to go. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty sick.
I love that feature. There's not only is there a practicality to that, but there's also like this humorous element of it, right? Like I could see that person that's just like having this bad day, like, oh my God, I swear to God, I can't fucking wait to hit this goddamn thing. And being able to just roll up, park your car and be like, boop, boop, all right, good.
Because like you could literally pack your fucking bowl and shit and have it ready to go like before you leave for the day.
Yeah.
That way,
dude.
right when you get home, all you gotta do is fucking hit the buttons and let it go.
Like, oh man, I could see somebody out there having this moment where it's like, thank fucking Christ that this exists.
Oh, the one thing I will say though is don't have it heated up, or like if it's already at temp and you're not ready to vaporize that bowl at that moment, do not, put it on top of the Volcano and lock it in, because it will start to decarb it off the bat. You know what I mean? Because like the Volcano's already heated up. So what I'll say is, if you want to like get it to temp and like have it ready to go, but you're not quite ready to fucking rip it yet, don't put the bowl on it until you're ready to fill your bag. I made that mistake yesterday and I lost out on that first hit experience of like the real nice flavorful thing, because like it already kind of like there was still some flavor there, but like it already kind of tasted like it went through like a slight heat cycle, which was kind of
lost the first bag basically.
Yeah. No, not even necessarily the first bag. I just lost most of the flavor that would have been with the first bag, because like all the flavor and a lot of those terpenes definitely.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you lost everything that's good about the first bag. Like
yeah, so it was like a 1.5 bag.
Like
you know what I mean?
That's a bummer. You don't want to do that. These are those learning curves.
But yeah, I didn't know. And then as soon as I said that, Will's like, yeah. He's like, you'll do that once or twice and then you'll remember.
Yeah, man. Fuck, man. Well, it took me probably a week to get like a full session of a day. Like it took me probably like 7 days in a row to get like the Dynavap down, where I didn't burn it that day. And like I didn't like cash it out early or any of that stuff. Like it took time for me to like commit to it. So it makes sense.
That's one of the things that I also kind of really like about this too, is as long as I have it set to the same temperature every time, I have zero risk of combustion.
Yeah, no, that's good because it's all electronic, right?
Yep. Exactly. So like,
and as long as I don't is accurate, which is key.
And it doesn't even get hot enough to combust. Like the device itself doesn't get to a temperature it's just going to get a temp to where it's going to really fucking give you a nice thick vaporization out of it if you want it to, but you probably are going to lose a lot of the flavor and stuff by doing that. But you have zero chance of combustion, which is really sweet, because that's kind of something like you said with the Dynavap. Until you've got it dialed in and you figured it out, that's always a risk. Is there's that slight chance that you might, and I have done it even after using the Dynavap for some time. You know what I mean? Just because I'm too ripped and not paying attention, or I've got my headphones on and don't hear the click.
Yeah. See, and once again, it's one of those moments I'm really enjoying the FMJ, because it's like there's that no spin,
dude.
It just heat it up. I get the click.
What I did with mine too, Sean, is I would just stop heating at the first click, because within like 2 seconds, the second click comes. I found that out after like the first or second time I used it. So I just, as soon as the first click happens, because no matter what, you're still going to get a nice vape out of it. And worst comes to worst, you might be able to get a second heat, because I've actually went for a second heat and still got like an okay. You know, it was definitely like, you know, like the fourth round on a normal bowl type hit, but it wasn't combusted. You know
See,
what I mean?
and an interesting thing I found out too is like with my first one, it was a little bit loose on my cap. And so because of that, I can kind of position it a little bit more.
Dude.
So if I want it to stay a little cooler, I can slide it a little bit closer to the tip, and that way I click a little sooner, right? And then meanwhile, if I really want to get those deep, heavy hits, I can actually slide it down just a little bit past the bottom of the cap so that it sits almost right on the fin. And then, those are some...
Yeah, the only thing I'm
ones.
kind of
They're
bummed
good.
about is the tip that I got with my cap. The cap doesn't stay on the tip.
The cap, squeeze the tip just a little bit.
I did the tip or the actual cap.
Or the cap, yeah. Like
I tried it and it didn't seem to make a difference.
I had to do it a few times. I made some adjustments because I had the exact same problem when I got my
It
Simrel.
literally would just like fall. I was just like, oh, well, this is stupid.
I literally lost a whole bowl on the floor because I had just finished heating it and I held it like this and the whole cap slid off. So like I had to take my FMJ off, and then I had to sit there and like really squeeze my cap a bit and, you know, get it on there, squeeze it some more until it actually started to hold.
I might just take the jacket off of it, mend the cap, and then slide the jacket back on.
That's what I did. Yeah. And now, as you can see, I'm good. I don't fall off. We're all right. And that was key because I'll tell you what, the full metal jacket on your cap and it falls off after it just clicked, that's scary. I was very fortunate that no damage had been done to anything, but that was a scary thing. Very scary. But yeah. Here I can actually show.
Dude, like that, it's just showing you that like nothing is as simple as rolling a joint. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it is true, but like this is like where I usually rock it. So I've got that little bit of space between the FMJ and the tip, but like I can definitely pull it up. Oh, there we go. No, let's not pull it completely off there. There we go. And now, like, if I want to go just a little bit lower, it's going to make that tip click a little bit sooner. And that'll give me a slightly cooler vape, probably a little bit more flavor, obviously, because we're staying a little bit cooler. And otherwise, still keep it really enjoyable. And I mean, this thing with that intercooler, like I said, it smooths it out so much that it's silly. And it's tapered so that it can still fit inside my bong that I use. So I can still rip it through this bong and enjoy it that way as well. So yeah, big shout out to Simrel. To all of our listeners, if you guys are Dynavap fans, definitely check out the Simrel collection and see what they have to offer. There's some really, really cool stuff that you can get from them to enhance your Dynavap experience. The FMJ, their stem setup that they've got. Go check it out. You might just dig it as much as I do. Oh yeah. Bam.
Dude, there's
I think I might have got it
on things you already like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it can be a little frustrating when your captive cap isn't captive.
I think I might have got it.
Oh, get that dense vapor.
Yeah, for real though. Like I remember the first time I saw like one be used was when we first saw them, or I first saw them on the show. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. Like I actually totally thought that like it was combustion.
And then as soon as I put the fucking jacket over it, it screws it up.
Yeah, it's gonna take a little fiddling, I think.
I think I know what I've got to do.
Holy smokes, man. This Rainbow Kush is pretty impressive. The flavor is mighty nice. Stack it in at a 2.4 on the terpenes, and it shows. It's flavorful as hell. Wow. I like it. Yeah, it's pretty fresh. It was harvested back in September. So that's a good sign. It's really nice. I like to see that. Something I've been paying a lot of attention to, and I think if you guys are out there in the market, you might want to pay attention to that too, is look at the harvest date on your little test labels and your package date to see like how long it maybe went through a cure, or like one of the things I look at is test date compared to package date, because I'm seeing that there are some companies, they get it tested and then it doesn't even get put in packages until 3 months, 4 months later.
Huh.
So yeah,
that seems pretty long.
Yeah. So what's happening to the product in the time before it gets packaged? Is it just sitting and continuing to cure? Well, then the material that was tested isn't the material I'm purchasing, is it?
No.
So yeah, like I started thinking about this, and so something I'm looking at, and I think you guys should all kind of pay attention to that too. Like I like to see the fact that this was harvested in September, and then it was tested in October. It was packaged in November. Boom, that all makes sense to me. But if I'm seeing a long stretch between testing and packaging, I'm going to start to scratch my head a little bit and go, "What's going on here?"
It does make you wonder why that would happen. Like,
Yeah.
what are the reasons? Like, would they just like bulk store it somewhere, and then when they're like running low, they just fucking make more packages? Like,
Yeah, that's again.
like,
and
how would they store it? I'd really want to know and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, those
Exactly.
are all big things for me. Because like most of the time when I go to the dispensary, there'll be new things, and it's sometimes they're like waiting for like lab results to come back and everything else, and so they have it and it's like getting ready. But I'm talking about like they might have it for a week. Like they get the stock in, then they send out for samples, then they get the results, and then they can either sell it or not, I guess. And yeah, it seems like it shouldn't never be that long. It's weird.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I understand that like here, at least in this state, I think there's only 3 testing labs and like 300 some plus growers. So, it's
So
100
there's going
plus.
to be a backlog, but
So yeah, 100 plus growers to
once
get their shit tested. But that's the thing, right? Like if the date that it was tested on, let's say is January, and then we have a package date of April.
Got it.
I'm like, I'm starting to scratch my head and go, what's going on in between? It's a question I think bears asking. So something I'm looking at, I think people should see that too. Another thing too that I think is interesting, right, is package date compared to the date you're purchasing, right? So like this was packaged in the very beginning of November, and I received it at the end of November, beginning of December. So it hasn't even been in this package that long. But again,
yeah, like
if it was
I'm sure that
packaged
there's
in
some level of
January
benefit. Yeah,
and you
like,
bought it in September or
That's
even
horrible.
December, what's going on with the weed in there?
dude, I don't know, but it can't be
Yeah,
as
see,
good
this
as it
was-
would have been.
This was tested 2 days before it was packaged. And that was 3 months ago. So, like, this just could have been something they just had from, a while. But it was tested and packaged pretty close together.
Well, I mean, if it was only packaged 3 months ago, then I mean, I'll say because of the size of grows in California, it's still relatively fresh. You know what I mean?
But like that just shows like this is some legit, like what you're gonna see is probably most likely what this was. You know what I mean? This batch, at least. This, you know what I mean? So that's cool. That makes me curious to check on this one because I didn't even look on this one. See, so this was cultivated on the 5th of July and then packaged on August 12th. Weird. That was like a month gap there.
That's a quick cure. Because like I'm looking at this one.
That's
This
good
one's got
stuff,
a nice breakdown, right? Harvest date is 7/12. Test date is 11/7. And then package date is 11/8. Now that's an ideal set of dates, right? Because like 7/12 is when it gets harvested. It's got to get cured and processed. It's now finished, cured, and processed. It gets tested on 11/7, and then it gets packaged on 11/8.
Yes, from the time it's harvested to the time it's packaged, ready for sale is 4 months, basically.
That's what we want to see. We don't want to see these large gaps in between stuff, because then you start to question, like, was there mold? Was it remediated? You know what I mean? Things like that. We need to know these things. I don't know the science to say that remediated weed is bad. I'm just saying that we need to know about it. People need to have the decision if that's something that they want to use or not. Also, we need to know if there's like games of play, right? Like, are these people using test results from a batch that's not the batch you're technically buying? You know, like, well, this batch tested at 32 and this batch tested at 26, but it's so close together. We're going to use the 32 test results. You know, like, is that something that's going on? Like, we deserve to know this information as consumers.
I wonder, I wonder how easily that would be found, though. Like, what their laws are, if there is laws, like, if it's literally just like up to the people that are growing, like the horticulturalists that are doing it.
I mean, the only thing I know is that, like, it's a very small regulatory body right now, and so I feel like the manpower needed would have to be like flagged first. You know what I mean? Like, they'd have to be like, hey, I think something's afoot. And then they'd have to put the manpower into it to investigate, versus just like randomly auditing people all day. You know what I mean? Because like, it's a small regulatory body. It's not like an IRS where they can just like keep an eye on some shit. So I don't think the manpower is there to just like be on top of everybody. I mean, Mike Can of the Young Jerks did an episode on his podcast. You guys can go look that up if you'd like, and where he actually talks about how the commission out here was doing webcam inspections at one point during COVID. So
wow.
the people,
that seems really official.
The people would walk around with a laptop showing the commission on webcam. You know, not to mention, shout out to the homie Foot Clan Dan for putting me on to the story that Mike Can also broke about a local cannabis employee actually dying from COPD caused by her work.
Really?
Yes. That one's an interesting and heartbreaking story. So I guess back in January, this young lady was working in the production facility, and she was like, I don't know if she was doing the processing for pre-rolls or actually filling pre-rolls, but either way, the loose material in the air apparently was so abundant, and not enough proper ventilation or not enough protective equipment. I don't know for sure what the issue is, but this young lady ended up inhaling so much of this cannabis dust that she developed severe asthma and eventually died back in January.
Wow.
So, unfortunately, this is cannabis's first occupational death within the industry.
If that's like more like negligence, though, like if she was wearing proper protection, that probably wouldn't have happened, right?
Well, so that's excuse me. That's where like some of the investigative work that Mike Cann's been doing with the Young Jerks is coming into play. Is, was the proper protective equipment available? Was it voluntary to use or was it mandatory? I don't have those answers. I can't speak to it, so I'm not going to. But what I do know is that this did happen, and the establishment was fined, but has been able to continue to operate, and hopefully things have changed, but it's unknown. So it's an interesting story that I'm continuing to kind of learn more about right now, as the few people who are doing investigations on it are doing. So if you guys are interested, Mike Cann, as I said, of the Young Jerks, is the guy who broke this story, and you can check out that podcast to start hearing his reporting on it. Because it's pretty wild, man. And it's a weird thing, right? Because like that is a weird black eye on legal cannabis suddenly. But I also think that the way it's kind of been handled is a little weird. So it's a touchy thing, but it's a real issue, and it is a safety thing that apparently we need to really pay attention to. Because have you guys ever thought about like how loose keef and stuff in the air could affect your breathing?
No,
I don't think I ever did.
I wouldn't have thought it because I'm not around it enough, right? If I was in that environment, maybe I'd be like, maybe it would. I'm not sure. I can't say for certain if it would be, but like when you're thinking of anything that is, mass production of anything, right? Like you're obviously a lot more exposed to it than I would be just like grinding weed at my house. But still, I don't know.
Like I don't think I ever would have imagined in my life that keef and that little like fine particulate. I mean, it makes sense, right? When I say it, as I was just about to, the fine particulate matter that keef is could eventually cause breathing problems from inhaling it. It makes sense. I mean, if you got to work around a ton of sawdust, you probably shouldn't be breathing that fine particulate matter.
Yeah, like if you see somebody working in wood shops and stuff, they would wear, like a face mask that I've seen anyways.
So I do majority of the time.
So that's the thing, right? Like if you're working around pre-rolls and stuff, you probably should be wearing face masks. Mm-hmm. That should probably be a thing. So it's interesting. So I'm going to continue to learn about it so we can talk about it a little more and, maybe get some of the facts straight. But it's wild. It's a wild story. And the company involved is one of the bigger multi-state operators, so it makes it even more weird. So yeah, like I remember the fine was not as large as one might think it should be. I just can't remember numbers, so I don't want to talk about it specifics. But yeah, so it's an interesting story. So definitely, guys, if you're curious about that, check out the Young Jerks, and then of course stay tuned because as I continue to learn about it, I want to talk about it a little more. Because it's wild. It's real wild. And yeah, with that, I think we are getting down to the end of this show. So I think it's a way to wrap it down up and send it on over to Uncle Chris to tell you guys where to find him.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, just go check out our website, shedtimepodcast.com. You might even be listening to it from the website right now because there is an embed link there, so you can check that out. Of course, you can check me out on Friday nights on Frames, Jankel, and Vapors YouTube channel for the Green Room, on Tuesday nights on KVTV's YouTube channel for Mixing It Up. And I think that's everything. Everybody be safe and have a good week and live your best life. Frames.
As always, guys, thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out with us. Make sure you guys check me out on my YouTube channel for some vape reviews and stuff like that if you guys want to check those out. And of course, you can check us out on Fridays for, build offs, Shedhead sessions, hangouts, all that good stuff. So make sure you guys check that out. And of course, we'll be back here in the shed doing the things. Go check it out on all your podcasting platforms. 5-star reviews, all that good stuff. Go check those out. And definitely tell your friends, tell your family, all that good stuff. And with all that being said, I'm going to end it as I always do, sending out all of those positive vibes, crisp high fives, and a little bag or a dab will do you.
Yes. I love a little bag will do you. It's beautiful. So you guys know what to do. Shedtimepodcast.com. It's your one-stop shop. You can even get linked on over to the Frames Janklin channel and catch some Green Room episodes if you want. So yeah, check it out. Find it on all your favorite platforms. I'm so high I can't even talk straight, so I'm gonna bring it to a close like I always do and tell you, don't let the bastards get you down. Be cool, don't be a dick, and whatever it is that you do, be sure to have some fun, because it's the Shed Time Podcast, and we about to I guess vape on up and then roll on out.
Dynavap, Dynavap, Dynavap. Looking to cut the cord on your dry herb vape? Dynavap. Trying to get the best taste from your herb? Dynavap. Ready to take your sesh to the next level? Then meet Dynavap, the best way to vape your flower or concentrate. Concentrates? That's right, your flower or hash can be vaped using Dynavap. Check out Dynavap.com to learn more. That's Dynavap.com. Lose the ash? Dynavap.
What's going on, Shedheads? It's your boy Frames Janklin. Are you looking to step up your match game or have a raw copper, brass, or stainless mod or RDA that you're absolutely tired of polishing? Then you need to go and hit up my man Ashton of Palmer's Powders. He does some absolutely amazing powder coating work. He offers many different colors and finishes at an absolutely killer price. This man is taking powder coating to a whole new level, and he can make your setup an absolute masterpiece. You can go follow him over on Instagram at Palmer's Powders, and you can go check out pricing on his website, palmerspowders.com. That's palmerspowders.com. And as always, let's just vape on, Shedheads.
I want you to think of your favorite rebuildable right now. Yeah, okay, so you have a layer cake in your hand, and now you're about... Oh, sorry, yeah, that's not everyone's favorite. That's just mine. So think of your favorite rebuildable atomizer. Think about how good of a vape it produces for you. Now, take that and amplify it. And the way that you amplify that is you put in some Breezestone coils. Breezestone coils are handcrafted in Adelaide, Australia. They're made from some of the finest quality wire that you can get. I believe it's Wire Buddha. You take those coils, you take them out of that phenomenal packaging that clearly shows how much care that Adam puts on the quality of his coils and the insurance that you get them in good shape. You put them in that favorite RDA, and guess what? You have coils that now sing better than Celine Dion. Go check out Breezestone coils. You can find them on localvape.com and also steelvalleyvapors.com. Suck, dude.
Motherfucker.
I'm bagged up, bro.
He said bags on bags on bags.
Bag city, bitch. Bag city, bitch.
James put a whole new spin on get the bag.